The auction hall buzzed with electric anticipation, murmurs echoing off walls plated in polished chrome. Screens displayed statistics and specs, muscle mass, combat capability, language fluency, like they were vending machines offering sentient beings instead of snacks. This was the Ninth Sector's trade exchange, a legal and morally dubious place where mercenaries, gladiators, workers, and even companions were bought and sold. Among the throng of eager bidders, a single platform remained conspicuously quiet. Standing alone, bound by ceremonial restraints that served more as tradition than necessity, was her. Towering above all the other offerings, she was a being of immense size and presence. 8 feet tall, muscle stacked on muscle, frame carved like a living war statue. Her skin shimmered with the violet hues of the Tavrani race, and her eyes, deep golden pools, looked out with weary defiance. She was Lot 98X, former guardian of the Obsidian Moons, genetically enhanced for strength and resilience. Her name was Vetra, and she had once defended planets, not stood in chains like livestock. No one made an offer. The alien auctioneer, a spindly renter with voice amplifiers built into his neck, tried to mask his irritation. Combat trained, fluent in 6 dialects, capable of lifting 6 tons unassisted. Do I hear any interest? Starting bid, 1,000 credits. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Too big to fit in standard quarters. She'll draw attention. No one's buying that. She's built like a freighter. A Torgon smirked, laughter erupting around him. Vetra remained silent. She had endured worse than mockery. Wars, betrayals, the extinction of her entire clan. But the isolation bit deeper than usual today. And then, from the back of the crowd, a voice rose, not loud but firm. I'll take her. Heads turned. A human, short by comparison, lean, with a tattered coat and a cybernetic arm that buzzed softly under the sleeve. He stepped forward and repeated himself. I said, I'll take her. At the starting bid, the auctioneer blinked, stunned. Yes, sir, are you sure? You may inspect. I've seen enough. He stepped up to the platform, locking eyes with Vetra. Name's Rennick, and you're not property to me. That was the moment everything changed. The ship wasn't impressive. A patched-together freighter with more rust than shine. Affectionately named the Ember Wasp. Vetra had a duck just to walk the narrow halls, and several doors needed to be modified badly. But the air was clean. The lights were warm. And for once, no one looked at her like she was a problem to be solved. Cal offered her a seat at the cramped dining booth. I know it's not much. Didn't plan on rescuing anyone today. Vetra stared at him. Why did you? He paused, then leaned back. Because I saw someone who deserved better. You didn't look like a weapon. You looked tired, and I know that feeling. He tapped his cybernetic arm. She didn't respond immediately. Then, what do you want from me? Nothing, Cal replied simply. But if you're willing, I could use a crew member. Someone who's got my back when things get messy. She raised an eyebrow. You know who I am? I know enough. And I'm betting there's more to you than a combat record. Vetra looked away. You're making a mistake. I make a lot of those. Let's see if this one works out. Weeks passed, and they became a team. Cal ran odd jobs, cargo runs, salvaging missions, the occasional bounty for low-risk targets. Vetra did the heavy lifting, often literally, but also found herself adjusting navigation arrays, recalibrating engines, even learning to cook poorly named human meals like mac and cheese. She laughed for the first time in months after eating it. This tastes like regret. That's how you know it's authentic, Cal grinned. But it wasn't all lighthearted. One night, as they camped on the edge of an abandoned mining colony during a salvage job, Vetra asked the question that had been building inside her. Why me? She said softly, staring at the fire Cal had built. You could have chosen anyone. Hired some leaner fighter, a prettier face, someone who fits in. Cal didn't look at her right away. When I was stationed on Caladris 7, my squad got hit hard. Only 3 of us made it out. The woman who dragged me through hell to safety, she was built like you. Carried me on her back for 6 kilometers while half dead herself. He turned toward her, eyes steady. You remind me of her. Strong, brave, misunderstood. People saw a brute. I saw a protector. Like I see now. Vetra said nothing, but her throat tightened. For so long, she had been treated like a tool. Useful, disposable, intimidating. This was the first time someone had looked past the armor and seen the person inside. Trouble came, as it always did. A rich weapons dealer named Dravik had put out a bounty, dead or alive, on any former Tevrani warriors who had abandoned their posts during the war. The Empire wanted to make examples, even of those who had simply survived. Vetra's face showed up on the holonet. I should go, she said quietly. I won't bring danger to your ship. No, Cal said sharply. If they come, they'll have to go through me. Don't be stupid, human. He stepped closer. You're my crew, my friend, and I don't leave friends behind. It was the first time she didn't correct him. Dravik's mercenaries caught up to them on Drellis Prime. The bar was full of bounty hunters, but Cal had gone in anyway. He'd promised to get medicine for a sick child in a mining town they'd stopped in earlier. When Vetra realized where he'd gone, she sprinted through the alleys, towering over civilians as she charged toward the ambush. People screamed and scattered. All she saw was red. Inside the bar, Cal was surrounded. He'd taken down 2 men, but was bleeding from a gash in his side. Then the doors blew open. Vetra slammed into the room like a meteor. She crushed one merc with a single blow, threw another through a window, and ripped a blaster from a third's hand before tossing him over the bar. Her roar shook the rafters. When it was over, the room was in pieces. Cal sat on the floor, smirking through the pain. You came for me. You're my crew, she said, breathless. He winced. We really need to stop doing this in bars. They left Drellis Prime behind. Word of what happened spread. How a human and a too big ex-guardian had stood together and lived. Other ships hailed them now, not with mockery, but respect. Some even asked to join. One night, watching the stars, Vetra sat beside Cal on the ship's tiny observation deck, knees to her chest. I was bred to be strong, she said, but no one ever told me I could be anything else. Cal didn't speak for a moment. Then he took her hand, rough against hers but warm. You're more than they'll ever understand. And I see it. All of it. Her voice cracked. You really think I have worth? I know you do. And there, under the starlight, something inside her broke and healed. Months later, the Ember Wasp was a different ship. Vetra had carved her own sleeping quarters, fit for her size, and helped install reinforced plating across the hull. She had a custom seat in the cockpit now, and her laughter filled the corridors more often than silence did. The galaxy hadn't changed much. It was still cruel, still full of people who judge by size, by species, by what you looked like instead of who you were. But for one human and one too big warrior, it was finally starting to feel like home, because no one else had made an offer.